Thank you, Don Scott. I'd like to thank all of y'all for coming out for my launch from All Angles podcast. I appreciate each and every one of y'all tonight. It means a lot to me. There's a lot of familiar faces in here, and we're going to rock out. Thank y'all for rocking with me tonight, and let's go. So tonight's topic is going to be about, relationships. That's a big thing that's going on right now. Everybody's talking about that. So we have two single people up here. They're very single. I mean, very single. There's a difference. You could be single and you could be very single. I mean, like, what they're saying tonight, they can't get in trouble for. So my first guest is Tanya. She's going to come up here. She's 29 years old. She's single. And she speaks her mind. If you don't follow her on Facebook, Instagram, on Instagram, listen, her stories are something. So let me welcome Tanya to the stage. First guest.
Hi.
Next right here that's coming up to the stage, this is my brother right here. So a lot of y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know him. His name is Ron P. He's super single. Let y'all know, any other single ladies in the crowd, he's super, super single. So with no further ado, let me introduce my brother Ron P to the stage.
Hey, Ron.
Can y'all hear me out there? Got you, because the microphone right here can't connect to the speaker. We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're going to make it work.
Sure.
Use both?
It's on.
Is it on still? No, it's not. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. So, without further ado, let's get started for the first episode of From All Angles podcast in Philadelphia, PA. Let's get started. So, don't be scared. I'm going to be gentle, I promise. So, Tanya, I was introduced to you from a mutual friend, and we started following each other on social media. And your stories are something else. I sit back and I wait for your stories to come on, and you talk about, how it is when you're dating out here. And what I'm noticing is a lot from what you're doing. Okay. No, it's a good thing. You're upfront and you're honest with the people that you are dating. So what are some of your red flags that you're seeing out there?
So, is this on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Here you go.
This is better.
Yeah, you could talk through that too.
Talk to both.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tanya. I've been single for 2 years, and I've been single and dating for 2 years, and I've been very intentional about how I'm going about this. I'd eventually like for this to end in marriage. However, because of that, I am being very meticulous in how I'm going about things. So my red flags, there are so many. But the most important is communication. That's a huge deal for me. If you're not able to communicate, like the smallest things, I can't really be bothered. Then it's like a red flag is, if you're unable to communicate, that's a red flag. If you're inconsistent, like you have poor follow through, like the date went well, but like I didn't really hear from you, or you didn't follow through appropriately. That's like, you're inconsistent. I can't be bothered with that. What's another red flag? I don't know.
Jay, what's some of your red flags?
Yeah.
Some of my red flags. This one? Oh.
Both of them. Talk through both of
I'm
them.
gonna talk to. So some of my red flags are, maybe the first date. If I tell you, hey, how long have you been in a relationship for? If you have you been in a relationship, how long, right? Damn, I'm trying to think. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me, because there's so many of them running through my head right now. I'm just like, But if I ask you, like, when the last time you was in a relationship, and you tell me, oh, like 2 months ago, that's a red flag for me, because I can't take you seriously.
So why do you think you can't take someone seriously if they're single and they've been out of a relationship for 2 years? I mean, for 2 months.
I'm thinking you might. It's a little wiggle room for her to go back to the situation she was in. So it's like, that's kind of like a red flag, you know. Like, I'm not taking a chance for you. I've been in that situation before, you know. Like, I did everything right, and then you go back to your ex, and you know, I'm out of luck. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a red flag for me. You know, like my personal experiences. You know what I'm saying?
So are you experiencing a lot of that with the women that you're meeting, with, you know, people that's just out of relationships, and you know you see that they want to go back to their ex, or
I've been through it. Yeah, past experiences. Yeah, they go back, and one experience I got ghosted. Like, you know, like, so it's. Yeah,
and when you mean you got ghosted like what? Like no calls?
Right, and then, you know, you do everything right, you dating, and, you know, you going out, you having fun, and everything going right. And then all of a sudden, you just get ghosted. And I know, because, you know, you told me, oh, I've been out of a relationship for like a month or two. You know what I'm saying? So
did you do some digging on like social media, looking to see like if she what was going on?
No, I didn't do that, but we met through a mutual friend, and a mutual friend told me, like, yo, she recently got out. Before I even asked her, I already knew that she recently got out of a situation. So you know,
got you.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
So with me, what I'm saying, right, with me being in my 40s, social media is something new with, you know, dating, because I'm used to having to meet someone to be like, when I met my wife because through mutual friends, and we were in the same place, you know. But nowadays, through social media, you can meet someone in Texas or Atlanta or wherever else you want to be at, then just slide in the DMs. Sure. So with that being, with social media being such an influence today within dating, how do you navigate that with seeing what's real and what's fake?
Ooh, that's tough.
I got one.
That's tough. You want to answer this one first?
Yeah.
Ladies first. You can answer that one.
How do you navigate through social media when dating? I mean, honestly, just don't pay attention to anything that they're posting on social media. It's through whatever they're saying, when they're saying it, how they're going about it, and the actions moving forward. Like, we all know you can post whatever the hell you want on social media, okay? So for me, how do I know if it's real? If you say something and it's followed by action, and then it precipitates into something else. Like, social media is like, all right, yeah, I can see what you're doing, but like, I don't know exactly what's going on with you 100% if I am not talking to you. So like, I don't know, I just feel like social media is a good thing, but also it can be negative in a way if you use that as a way to like figure someone out. Like, it's real if like what you say matches with your actions.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like, yeah, I can use social media to check in and see if you're doing what you said you were doing, but like overall, it's just like how you show up to me in person.
But I mean, okay, so my thing is what I see on social media, and you have to take that kind of, people say don't take social media serious, right, when you're posting stuff. But for me, I gotta take it serious because it's coming from you. So certain things that you're posting on there when you're saying stuff, and if you're saying goofy stuff online, I gotta take you for a goofy.
100%. I agree with that. I'm not gonna lie, there was a person that slid in my DM, and I had already been, like, once that person followed me, he looked like a prospectus. So I was like, all right, let me just check his social media out, all right? So I checked out his social media, and for a couple of days, I checked out a couple of posts, and I'm just like, this don't really seem like the type of man that I want to date. So I ain't really playing to nothing he was saying in my DM, right? Mm-hmm. But one day, finally, he asked me out on a date. Mm-hmm. But before the date, he wanted to FaceTime. I ain't opposed to FaceTime, and I am who I am. Doesn't matter what platform we're on, whether it's social media, Facebook, Instagram, in person. I'm the same motherfucker. Excuse me. I'm the same person.
You can cuss on here. Right? We're
so
good.
I'm like, all right. But through that FaceTime, I realized that exactly what he was posting was like him in real life too. But then he would say to me, "Oh, I ain't like that." Yeah, I'm like, bro, but you are. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It evolved to where like I actually decided like not to go out on a date with him because he kept on talking about his presence on the streets, and I'm like, you be on the streets? How are you known?
Bragging about that.
Because if you're not known for like writing a book or something like that, then this is not. I can't. My safety is at risk, sir. You can't be showing me to anyone. No, sir. I'm sorry. Even though you have some great date ideas, I don't think this is gonna work. I have my safety to keep in order. Anyways,
Now
I'm gonna pass it on to.
you got something to say about that?
You have something?
No, she hit all the, yeah.
Now, does politics play a role? Because a lot of people don't. We just got out of. Y'all seen what happened.
What do you mean by politics?
Politics, like people talking about politics, who they're voting for, what they stand by. Does that play a part on who you want to date?
Oh, man.
See, here's the thing. Like, I am not strong in politics. I actually don't discuss politics with people.
But if you see something on it for what you stand for, right? And you see, I see stuff on there, and I seen certain people that I looked at in a different way, and I seen them posting certain things online about certain things in this election that just passed, and you just saying,
So
I didn't know you felt that way.
So for me, again, I'm not strong in politics, but I do know that politics are kind of go hand in hand with your morals and your values.
Yes.
So if I feel like you voted for someone that I am not agreeing to, then yeah, I'm gonna stay clear of you. You know what I mean? Because that will kind of be like how I decide on how our future will go. Like if our politics don't align, essentially like other things are not gonna align as well.
Right.
I'm not strong in it. Like I really don't be up on the debates or nothing like that. But I know that like if you would Trump supporter, then I ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
All right, Jay, what about you?
I don't really
myself, Ron P.
politics too much. I haven't met somebody that's like really into politics, and I never really asked that question or anything, so I can't really speak on it.
Okay.
But, yeah, like.
Okay.
But I do think that it does alter the relationship if you disagree with, like if you voted for somebody and it goes on your morals and all that. So I do agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep the mic because this is the next question is good for you.
Let's go for it.
All right. So you being you just turned 40 years old.
Correct.
You have no kids.
No kids.
You're a unicorn out here.
That's what they say. That's what they say all the time. I get that so much. It's crazy.
So we have talks all the time about you being in a relationship and you wanting a family.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, with the women that you come across your age, they're not looking to have any more kids.
Nah, like from the women that I met, like they already been through stuff, maybe divorced or was married or whatever. It may be they got kids going to college already. Like it's like I want kids, So if we talk and it's not gonna work for me because I wanna have kids. So I gotta go a little lower, on the like age tip.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what's a little lower for you?
A little lower for me? I ain't gonna go too low now, Vern. Like, come on now, man. I ain't gonna go too low. Yeah, maybe like 29, 30, maybe,
Yeah.
29, 30.
I mean,
I'm not gonna go like 21 because then you gotta like mold them and all that. I'm cool. That's too young. They're not mature enough.
21 is too young.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like that's where you go. Oh, yeah, 20. No, I'm not going that low.
A minor.
Right. You change Lamar on them, like, yeah, maybe like 29, 30.
29, 30.
That'd be suffice for me.
So with you saying that, when you meet women, when you talk to them, and you pillow talking or whatever, you're talking about life goals, and you're saying that you don't have a family and you're looking to have a family, and that's something that I admire about you because you know when we talk, you say that I want my kids in one spot. I don't want to have a bunch of kids all over the place. I want to when I have kids, I want to be able to sit down and say that's it. But is that like a turn off for some women for you when you tell them that you want to have kids and if they have kids already, like you said,
is it a turn off for them or
for them? Is it a turn off? Like, do you feel like you were dating and everything was going good until kids are being involved? You're talking about and they're just like you don't really hear from them anymore.
Yeah, it's touchy because some of them my age they don't want kids no more. So they like I'm done.
Okay.
And I want kids. I want to, but typically I'm going to like try to get somebody that's like start on a clean slate with no kids. But I'm 40 years old. Like that's that's I don't know. It's hard to find, but yeah, good luck, right? I need that. No, but yeah, like that's hard to find, man.
So with that being said, because you do know that like I said, you are a unicorn out here with no kids.
You gotta keep saying it, Vern.
Yeah, but that's good that you don't. It's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? That you don't have any kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a wonderful thing that you don't have any kids. So don't think that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm bigging you up because it's a lot of people that's our age that's grandfathers and grandmothers and stuff like that. So
Crazy.
I'm just saying that for you know what you want and that's a good thing. So what are your limits? Like do you have limits on if you do meet somebody and you're vibing with them on the amount of kids they have?
Yeah, I mean,
are you okay with being a stepfather?
I mean, it depends if I really
be honest.
No, I'm gonna give you the honest opinion. Like what I'm saying, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Like if I feel as though like they like we vibing and all that, like yeah, I'll give you a chance if you got one kid.
Oh,
so
just one is your limit.
Yeah, like I'll give you a story. Like I was in a situation maybe a couple years ago, and she had 2 kids, 2 different baby fathers. It's crazy, but I try to make it work, right? But I'm just like looking in the future, like man, like if I want to have kids, it's just a little too much, Like, and I don't have no kids, so it's like, I had to let that one go, and that was that.
Okay, got you.
What I'm saying? So my limit is maybe like 1, we could do it,
Okay.
But I prefer, not have kids.
No kids. Okay.
If I find it, if I have
got you. All right, so I'm going to pass the mic back to Tanya and ask you, how are you with navigating long distance relationships?
I wanted to touch on this, but okay, we'll.
No, let's touch on it then.
Okay.
We can go back to that.
So I wanted to touch on the whole kids thing. I am 29, and I did have a child when I was 17. So
Okay.
I do have an 11-year-old daughter. Okay. When it comes to being a single mom and navigating through relationships, I think that I don't have no problem finding a person, right? Like, I don't have a problem going out on dates. I really don't. But I do find that it's a bit more difficult because I have to be, again, one of my favorite words is intentional about who I'm welcoming into my space. And also, while I'm dating you, I have to think, do I see you as a father figure? Now my daughter has a dad, so I'm not looking for you to be a dad, right? But you have to be able to be a dad. And honestly, even if I didn't have a kid, I've always wanted a decent sized family. So I'd always be screening for whether or not you're going to be a good father, right? But now, because I already have a person that I have to keep in mind, I'm always screening that. So if right away I feel like you're not a good person to, be in a relationship with, I'm gonna figure it out first date usually, but I'm gonna drop you after that. But it hasn't been difficult. But what has been difficult is because again, I have no problem getting a man, but seeing longevity with a man is where I find difficulty.
Okay.
I feel that there is a lot of people that want me, but they kind of stumble when they start to consider me plus one. And I feel like, that's cool. It's your right. You don't have to be, in my space if you're not comfortable with me having a kid. That's all right. But I feel like the problem is where they'll like kind of drag the situation. If you know straight up, I'm gonna tell all y'all men, because there's a lot of y'all over here on the right. I'm gonna tell all y'all, if y'all know at first hand that you may not be comfortable with dating someone who has a kid, just don't date them. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's all right, we'll be fine, you know? And I just feel like if you even have just a little inkling that, oh, you know what? I don't think this is good for me. Just call a spade and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Because there's no sense in dragging it. But then in the same breath, when it comes to me dating, I would like at least one or two, I max out at 2, more kids. So if I'm dating and I don't know, for some reason I get a lot of people who actually don't have kids. It's not on purpose, but they usually don't be having kids. But if I date someone who doesn't have any kids and they tell me straight up like, yo, I don't think I want kids, then I'm gonna drop them. Why? Because I am not interested in convincing you to want kids, right? I want that to be an idea in your mind, just like I want being a husband in your mind already when I meet you. So if that's not a thought for you, yes, you can grow into it, but I feel like if that's not already what your mindset is leading into all of these things, then like, I wanna meet somebody on the same level as me when I'm on that same level. If we're on different levels when we meet each other, then it's not gonna work. Because I don't feel like waiting for you to for you to grow up.
You can
right?
cuss.
For you to decide
This is
what
okay.
you want to do. You either want what I want or you don't. Or we want what each other wants or we don't, and we can just move on. And I'm really good at just dropping situations, y'all. I really don't, I don't get attachment. I don't know I like you, but I ain't gonna get too attached, okay? I'm good with, you know what, this don't work. Okay, let's move on. Okay, because at the end of the day, like I said, when we begin all this, I would like for a husband, so I don't want to entertain mofos that I don't see as prospective husbands.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about that. So when I meet someone, if they don't want a kid, then we don't need to talk no more. Because like, yeah, I would like, okay, here's the thing, wait a minute, let me retract. So like, if they don't want any kids at all, first of all, I already have a kid. Okay. Secondly, I'm okay with having 1 or 2 more because I wasn't able to be fully invested in the first relationship. I wasn't able to show up how I wanted to as a mother because I had a kid really young. So I'm like, I want that dynamic, right? I want that perfect dynamic.
Okay.
That's what I'm set out to have. What y'all say? Perfect, girl. It ain't perfect, but I want next to perfect. I'm a Virgo. I truly am a perfectionist.
Oh, you're a Virgo. Oh,
I'm truly a perfectionist.
We all Virgos up here.
We all Virgos.
Oh, we all
Gang,
Virgos
gang.
up here. Okay. I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
But truthfully, I want as close to perfection as I can get it. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% perfect because I already have a kid out of wedlock.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for what I would like ideally to be that, like, you know, that classic, you know, husband, wife, kids,
Okay.
and then move on.
Got you.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So I don't have any trouble or issue with dating. I do have an issue with finding someone that I can see longevity with.
Okay.
And then also, if you don't want any kids, I want for someone to at least be open to it. If your heart's set on, I don't want any kids, this ain't gonna work. Because I already got one, and I would prospectively like to have more at some point.
So when do you cut that off?
Right away.
Okay.
I ain't got no time. I ain't gonna convince you.
Right.
If we're dating, because I'm not gonna tell you what I want. I'm just gonna listen to what you want.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're talking and you say, oh, I don't want no kids or whatever the dumb stuff or things that I don't agree with, whatever comes up, like if you say something to me that I know is something that I want and I know for a fact you don't want because you just told me, then there's no purpose in keeping this going.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll tell you directly at the end, probably the next day via text.
Okay.
Via text, it's gonna be real formal. It's gonna be real formal.
So question, do you feel like
I sent out a lot of dissertations. I want y'all to know that. Because I strung myself on not ghosting anybody. You're gonna know exactly why I ain't talking to your ass no more.
That goes on.
no, that's a good thing. That's so you tell
tell you.
you tell people exactly
100%,
why
100%.
it's not gonna work.
Once in a while, there's once in a blue that I may not say anything, but that's very few and far in between. But usually you getting a message.
Okay.
You know what? I don't really think that this aligns. So I would not like to go on another date.
Got you. What about you? What about you, Ron P? Do you do that when you find somebody that you thought you liked and maybe y'all was vibing and something is a little off? Do you say exactly why you don't think you need to keep it going?
Yeah, it's no time to waste. I'm 40, so I don't have no time to waste at all. My patience is like thin as a piece of paper right now. I don't have time to waste. So I'll let you know straight up, like this not gonna work. And
what you're saying is, both of y'all, because you're dating for the long haul, and you're dating because you're looking for a husband, you're looking for a wife. Do you think sometimes that might cloud your judgment where you're rushing somebody to really like? Maybe, they might need a little bit more time. They might be that person for you, but they might need a little bit more time because you're ready to go right now. But, they might need you just to work with them for a little bit. Do you see that, because that, hey, you like you said, like I'm 40, I don't have no time to waste right now, that you're kind of like maybe rushing the issue?
I don't think so. Like for me, I'm not going to say I rush it. Like I just want to, get to it. Like, listen, hey, what you're interested in. If you're not interested in the same things I'm interested in it, then I can't.
My thing is, I can say, and I think sometimes, when you are single, sometimes, being single is not a bad thing. It's a good time for you to reflect on yourself, and you know what you want, and you can move the way that you want to move out here. Yeah. But I also remember, those single times of when you do meet somebody, not to rush it. I was never really quick to get into a relationship. If it was meant to be, it's meant to be. When you want to be with that person. When you want to be with that person, you ain't heard from them in a couple hours. If you're like, hold up, what's going on? Right. When you have some free time, you want to spend it with them. I was never quick to say, yay, let's go together.
Yeah.
I never wanted to say those words. I just felt like it's a feeling when you feel like you're together. It's like you don't really have to say, hey, or me and you together. It's like kind of like, well, what are you doing tonight? Well, I'm free. Well, I'm expecting you to spend your free time with me. And, it's kind of a thing that, is an unspoken word. But that's what I thought. But, I do think that, you do need to let that person know exactly how you feel about them. So, you can cut off the little side dates or, whatever else you need to do to make sure that that person feels that you want to be locked in with them, But I also do feel like, when you are looking for a relationship, that's what you want. Like, I want to be in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship. You wind up being in a relationship with the wrong person. Now you want some fuck shit out here. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just let it flow. That's all. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Being single ain't bad. Right. It's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because what's the point of being in a relationship? Like, who feels like being in and out of relationships all the time? Yeah. That's some bullshit. Yeah. I don't feel like being in a relationship, every 6 months. I done dated this person for 6 months, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just, let's just date you. And just let's get to know each other, and let's see where it's at. Because I always felt like when you first meet somebody, they ain't really the real them. It's not really the real them when they're in a relationship. Everything's good morning, love, and how you doing? Yeah. What you doing today? You want to send flowers? You going out to eat? Man, that's some bullshit. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's not really what it takes to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. So where like, when like, damn, man, I ain't talked to her today, or I ain't talked to him today. Like, what are they doing? Like if certain events that come up, you know what I mean? Like, like if you was invited to an event, a birthday party or a wedding right now, like who you going to take? You want to take that person, So I'm just saying, just for both of y'all, just my advice. I'm no relationship expert at all, but I'm just saying, just take your time.
Sounds like it sounds like.
I mean, no. With all relationships, you have your ups and downs.
How long have you been married? Right?
I've been married for 12 years.
12 years. All right, so you know what you're talking about,
Yeah, sure I've been married for 12 years.
I don't think it's rushing, though. Well, first of all, I'm 100% not in any rush, honestly. I just be chilling. I really do. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't think it's rushing. I think that it's better to just call a spade, like seriously. Like, because I feel like when you're just taking your time, I think you're just like, I don't know. I think you either know or you don't know. Let's be for real.
Okay.
Like, I don't think there's any sense in dragging your ass about a situation. Like, I know almost right away whether or not I can see myself being in a relationship with someone. I know almost right away. I could probably tell you from, I think I'm a good judge
All right,
of
so let
character.
me make that a little bit more spicy. Do you know right away that you want to be in a relationship with that person or you want to sleep with that person?
Not sleeping.
Because there
not
is a
sleeping with
difference.
people. Because like sexual attraction is completely
Yes.
different than like wanting to like see a future with someone. And I mean, you're a man. You guys know that sexual attraction is different than whether or not you want to see long term with someone, right? Like, and I don't really typically see people and be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to fuck that man like right now. That's usually not me. But if I find that that's what's happening, I ain't really even thinking about a relationship. I'm thinking, damn, it done been like 2-3 months. I ain't had sex with nobody in a minute. And that man is fine right there. But typically, like, no, it's not. It's like, listen, sexual attraction is way different than like seeing a future. And for me, like, if I'm seeing a future with you, that means all the analytical things like work out first.
Got you.
And honestly, I'm a thinker, big deal of thinker. You know that. That's all I literally have long ass letters on social media. Thank you for everybody who takes the time to read that shit. But like, I'm always thinking things through.
Okay.
And I just feel like, I think I'm missing my point right now.
Okay. I can say that I think that sometimes sex maybe changes things after
Sex
you guys have
definitely
sex.
changes things after, which is why I think that there should be a pace with that, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I'm a woman. But like...
Like you said, because you're a woman, now why is
because
that?
I'm a woman. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the women are, but like, I prefer to take my time to see if someone kind of earns
There's the kitty.
earns the goods, you know?
Okay.
You just ain't everybody getting up in it, you know? That's, yeah, come on. You know, just not everybody.
Okay.
You gotta earn it in a sense. And the thing is, the problem is men think that earning Gucci or whatever it is a financial thing. It's not a financial thing, right? Yes, sometimes it is, right? You gotta spend some money. You do have to spend some money, but aside from spending money, I feel like it really is for me, like how you treat me,
Okay.
how you talk to me, how you follow through is a big deal for me, how you communicate. Those are the things that are gonna want me to take this knee from the left and this knee to the right, right? But if you're not following through with all that stuff, even if you're doing if you're not doing anything but you're spending a whole lot of money, that's really not getting you nowhere with me. Like, I'm all actions and communication, talker, thinker, like all of that stuff has to align for me to do any of that good stuff.
Well, my thing is men with money. That's how they lead with. They lead
Honestly,
with
men
money.
with money make me want to throw up and swallow it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they
pay to
usually,
play.
for me, they typically lead an ego. They have poor character traits. It's like they don't actually think, like you think that your money is a deposit on me, and it's not. You know, like I need you to show up with a lot more than money.
Okay.
You know, but I don't know. So it's not rushing. You know, I think that you know what you know when you know it, and typically it don't really take that much time for you to know that you want to be with somebody.
Gotcha.
No, it's not a sexual thing at all.
Okay.
But then I feel like if I have sex with someone earlier, then I get more emotional. Then I start ignoring the red flags. So that's another reason why I try to hold off, because I'm like, let me not forget that we gotta be mindful of how this person is moving.
Okay.
You know, like just because you laying it down, that doesn't mean anything. Are you doing all of the other things that are gonna evolve into something better than what's happening, or evolve into a good future, or evolve into partnership? Like, is that stuff happening as well?
I think that, you know, since we're on a topic of sex, let me just say this. I think that for a lot of times when you are dating someone, you know, and, you know, you have your mental note of, for women, you know, because most guys, I'm going to keep it honest, we don't care. You know, it could be on the first night, or it could be on the third night, you know, for us. But for women, you know, I know for a lot of times it's, you know, you're thinking about, what you want from this person and how this person is treating you. But, when the man is trying to pursue you, you get those good morning texts and everything. And then after sex, some of those good morning texts might come a little bit afternoon texts now. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe night texts.
The after work texts now, the late night texts. So I think a lot of times sex does cloud people's judgment. We can't not, not talk about that to where, after you do have sex with somebody, you can kind of see where it's going, because for the whole thing, us men, we're trying to pursue something, we're trying to see what's going on. And then once we do have sex, it's like, all right, well, I used to tell her good morning every morning, but maybe I can say good afternoon today. So for yourself, how do you navigate that switch up to where it's like, and you kind of, you touched on this before about how when, you're liking somebody and then when that does happen, how do you, you say like, hey, this isn't as consistent as it used to be.
A lot, again, I've been dating for a long time. I've been dating a lot. And dating is just like going out on dates and listening to people, okay? But a lot of times, before you even get to sex, you already know what it is. Because if you're listening, men tell themselves very often, I know exactly what it is you're here for. It's just very simple. Now, whether or not I want to entertain the shit is actually what's up, right?
Okay.
Like, do I want to entertain? Like, am I in the mood for some bullshit right now? Am I? Has it been so long that I'm like, you know what? I don't mind the bullshit right now. Has it been? Typically, no. But usually, like, let's say I didn't realize that this might have been, like, some bullshit.
Okay.
Right? And we had sex. If we had sex, and after sex, I see a different pattern. I don't get my morning text messages, or I don't get my little voice memos, or, I don't find that you have the same interest. Like before you asked me how my day was going and you sent me a couple pictures of what the fuck you did today. But then now we done had sex and I don't get no voice memos. You ain't tell me what the fuck you did today. Nothing's happening. Then I already know it's good. All right, well, damn, this was just sex.
Okay.
And guess what I do? We gotta get the hell out of here. We gotta bow out gracefully. You just get one time. That's it. Oh, you know what? It looks like there's a change of action here. There's a change in course. All right. So now that you've changed your course, my course also has to change. We have to go left. I'm good. But like, yeah, like it just if things change after sex, then you just either, if you're up for the bullshit, you continue with the bullshit, or you drop them.
Okay.
But again, if I am where I am, I'm at a place right now where I'm okay single, but if I'm dating, I'd like to prospectively be dating someone that I could see as a prospective husband, because I know in my mind, like, yo, I've been dating for so long, like, I actually would like someone that I can have a future with. Then I usually just don't entertain it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to wait. The whole thing is waiting. I don't want to wait for you to make up your mind. Okay. I'm not gonna wait for you to make up your mind. Honestly, I feel like I'm the type of person you should know right when you finish talking with me. After that first day, you should know. And if you don't know, then I'm not the one for you.
Okay.
So yeah, if you changing up after sex, it's a wrap.
All right, Jay, Ron P, what do you have to say about that? Because you're a man now. You're the one that's sending out the good morning texts.
Yeah, just like if it changes up, I gotta keep it moving, man, because I don't have time. Like, I want to get to know you, for who you are before the sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm at with it, I want to make sure that I get to know your personality. If I can build with you, before the sex. Like, so that's where I'm at with it. So, but if that does happen, yeah, I'm out. I can't. If you change up, I gotta.
You gotta change up.
But what are reasons that you would change up, like after sex?
For me?
Yeah. What are reasons that you, like, let's say you are, you find a woman, you vibing with her, blah blah blah, but then, like, I don't know, like, that you would behave differently after sex. What are reasons that you would behave differently? Cause like
That's a good question. Bro, you want to answer this one?
Make sure your mic is up.
you the single one.
Make sure
I
your
know.
mic's up. You the
You got
single.
the advice though, but I'm not to answer that
What
one.
are reasons that you would change up?
Hold on. What was the question?
What are
Yeah,
reasons
no,
that he would
What's
change
the
up
reason
after
why I would
sex?
change up after sex?
I mean, basically, that's all you might have kind of was there for.
No, but,
You was kind of only there for the sex. If you switched up after that, you
right,
being the
that's
man.
exactly why. You
you
just
know?
gotta drop
I
them.
do agree, yeah, and that's
It's-
why I would just keep it moving. You know, I was just there for the sex, or she was there for the sex, and that's it. Like that's happened. Like she's just there for the sex, and I gotta keep it moving. That's how I feel.
So that has happened to you before, where you
Yes,
where you
it
was
has.
where you had vibing with a chick, and you thought that it would this was a potential, next person, and after the sex, it kind of switched up.
Yeah, again, I told you that I got ghosted earlier. You know, that's happened to me
Okay.
before, and that's happened to
Okay.
me before for sure.
All right, so you have the mic now, so I want to I want to talk to you about from a male perspective, right?
Let's go.
There's a difference between dating, being a male and a female, right? Where it's Tanya, she's good to go out on 5 dates a week if she wants to. All she has to do is just come out the house with her ID and she's good.
Oh, for sure.
But for you, my guy, for you to go out on a date, you got to bring your wallet. So how do you pick and choose on who to? I know for myself, an average date for me is $300. I can't leave out them damn house with that shit. I can't leave. I can't go to a restaurant without leaving a $300 bill.
Yeah.
I believe
So,
you
you
should
know-
have $300 in your pocket if you're going on a date.
I couldn't imagine
Dating
do
is
believe
very
it.
expensive.
me going out on a date 3 times a week with a $300 bill. So for a man, it's a lot different dating than a female because you have to pick and choose who you really want to go out with. Where Tanya could be like, yo, you know what? I'm bored.
Let me call
I'm
him up.
gonna call him up and let's.
slide
He been
out.
wanting to go out with me for a couple months now. I'm gonna let him take me to Steak 48. You know what my bill was last time I was at Steak 48?
Probably like a nickel.
$800. Me and her.
$300.
So exactly, that wasn't even including the tip. You know what I mean? So my thing is, when you do stuff like that, you have to really be cautious of who you want to go out with because it can run you up. So how do you pick and choose on, who you want to go out with and who do you want to spend money on? Because everybody's not going out on no coffee dates. I be hearing all this stuff online about, let's go on and that's bullshit. Everybody don't even drink coffee.
Right.
So it's like, when people want to go out on these coffee dates and all these nice little walks in the park. I mean, right now it's 27 degrees outside. Where you going? Ain't nobody trying to walk in no damn park right now. They want to be in some heat.
Right.
They want some liquor in their system.
But that's like the best way to get to know somebody. Like you get to walk in the
Yes,
park.
for
and,
sure.
You get to talk and conversate. That's
For sure.
That's the best way.
But
But,
out of-
if it's cold outside, I ain't doing
But
it.
out
I'm
of
cool.
but let's say if you have 3 women in your roster that you're just talking to, right? Out of those 3 women, all of them are not going to want to go on a walk in the park.
Oh no.
It's not going to happen.
So how do you pick?
They want to go out.
I go by my feeling, my gut feeling, like my intuition. Like if I feel as though I can build, like I said again, like before, like if I feel as though I can build with this person, all right, cool. We gonna slide out.
Pull your mother mic
And
up
I'm-
some.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, let's slide out and go to a nice place because I like to do nice things. Like I'm not like a person that don't like to go to nice places.
Okay.
So I'll go to nice places with you if I feel as though I can build with you.
So what's some of your go-to spots that you would go to if you had a nice young lady that you want to take out?
And it's not the steak 48s and the ocean primes. It's the little cut joints, like maybe Giuseppe's and Sons
Oh,
or
that's
something
nice.
like that. Like
Giuseppe's and
I mean,
I'ma
but
take you
that add up. Giuseppe and Sons ain't
I'm not
no-
saying it's not.
no
I'm
walk
not
in the
saying
park.
It's cheap.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't go to the. I mean, steak 48 will be a little bit more, but I'm not saying like I'm gonna go to that place like right away. But these are my little spots that I go to, and I'm gonna bring you along with me. Like this is the stuff I like to do. I'm gonna let you know who I am.
Okay.
So that's what
Okay. So how do you maintain your individuality in a relationship? Like how do you maintain, like what you believe in and like what you stand on as a man, to the woman that you want to date?
That's a good question. Say that one more time.
How do you
Reword it a little bit because it's like I like to.
maintaining your individuality, like maintaining yourself? Like how do you maintain that? While dating someone, getting to know someone,
Like staying who I am, like
Yeah,
okay,
stay
I'm
who
gonna
you
be
are.
myself regardless, like, and if you don't feel who I am, then you're not for me, but I'm always stay grounded in who I am, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, so I don't know how I do it, I just do it, like I'm gonna make sure that you get the real me. I'm not going to pretend to be anybody, like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna give you who I am from the rip. I'm not going to pretend or anything. You know what I'm saying?
So for myself, so what are some of the main reasons that you're seeing, like why you're single, like with the women? Because like I know you, we've known each other for a very long time,
Absolutely.
and I've seen some of the women that you date, and you come across some really nice women. They check off all on the box. So what are some of the things that you're looking for to where it's the point that you're dating and you're getting there, and then all of a sudden it's like, what, this isn't working out right now.
Right. To be honest, like I always get the ones that just got out of a situation.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but like, and as soon as they get out the situation, they go back. Like the last 3 situations that I was in, that's what happened to me. Like,
So you're basically saying you're like a pit stop.
yeah, and I don't want that. And if I see that, like, like I gotta cut it short. But
Okay.
basically, like that's the last couple situations that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to me. In the last situation, I just got ghosted. No explanation and anything. And if it wasn't for the homie that I knew, that I wouldn't have known why. But that's
Okay.
how I found out.
Got you.
Yeah.
Tanya, what about you? What are some of the things that you're saying to why you're single with? Because I was rooting, for cookies.
First of all,
I was rooting for the cookie
he
guy.
is in my close friends, okay? And in my close friends on Instagram, I go over every single last date that I've been on. And some in detail, but not too deep, okay? In detail, but not too deep. And he's asking me why didn't things evolve with the last person that I dated. But what was the initial question before I get into that?
Maintaining your individuality.
Maintaining
in
my
your relationship.
individuality. There were so many questions that you asked him that I wanted to chime in on, but let me just answer this first question. Maintaining my individuality. It's very simple. Like I feel like I definitely am very independent, right? And it can be to a fault. But for me, like to maintain my individuality, first of all, I would like to date someone who has the same interests as me. You know?
What are
Like,
some of your interests?
I like coffee dates, actually.
Okay.
I like art. I like music. I like nature. I like just a bunch of BS stuff that no one else cares about. That's the stuff I like. It just be simple shit. It's nothing crazy. But so how I maintain my individuality is, first of all, getting with someone who has similar interests as I do.
Okay.
But if I get with you and you don't have similar interests, that's okay. But at least you should be okay with me still retaining the things that I already had when I showed up.
Got you.
I take myself on a lot of solo dates. So like I can't date someone that's like, oh, why you going out by yourself? No. I can't date somebody that's gonna be like, oh, what am I gonna do when you're away? Like I can't date someone that's codependent. So like the way that I keep my individuality is dating someone who has similar interests, or dating someone who's okay with me still going out and doing the things that make me feel fulfilled. I fucking solo travel. I do a lot of things on my own. Of course, when I get into a relationship, I would incorporate that person when it's appropriate, and I would probably incorporate them way more,
Okay.
right? Since I'm no longer a single person.
But
But
will
I
you
would
still
just-
want to keep your solo trips?
I would still want to keep my solo trips. And I mean, I feel like that's a discussion that I'd have with that person, my person. I feel like you should be okay with that. That's something that I did before you came around.
Okay.
I don't feel like I should abandon the things that made me feel happy, the main things that made me feel okay, the things that made me feel content in order to involve you in my life.
Got you.
I feel like you should be okay with that. And if
Okay.
you're not okay with that, then that means you're just not solid in yourself. And I can't date someone who's not secure. You have to be okay with me being independent at times.
So you would want to be in a relationship with someone and then just go on a
Why not?
solo vacation by yourself?
Why not? It's the most beautiful thing, being able to discover things on your own. Because guess what? When I come back, I got so much shit to share with you. I can keep it real interesting, actually. I don't think that there should be a problem with that. I mean, but then you can flip a coin, and I probably would not be as comfortable with my person wanting to take a solo date. But listen, I would be uncomfortable with it if I know that that's something that you hadn't done before. Now all of a sudden you're doing it because you know that I did it. That's different, because that's just immature. Now we're doing tit for tat, and I can't play with that. But if I know that that's something that you did before we met, go ahead.
Okay.
That's something that makes you feel fulfilled, go ahead. Why
Okay.
not? I don't want to restrict my person. Do what makes you feel okay. Do what fulfills your soul. Do what makes you happy. Please, by all means. I'm not going to be the one to restrict you.
Okay.
Right? But it has to all be within reason. We got to communicate about the shit. And it has to make sense, right? But aside from that, like, just to like keep your individuality, just like be okay with me doing my thing, do your thing. We come together, we can do our thing. That's okay for me.
Okay.
And honestly, as long as someone's not trying to play puppet master with me, then we're good.
I think that's dope that you want to go on. So I mean, I don't know.
So,
I'll be like,
I mean,
man,
honestly,
I'll be like, where you going?
that's
Oh, I'm going with you. I don't know about
Be
that,
out.
but I think that is something that when you say that straight from the gate, like, you know, I go on some, you know, solo trips, then that's fine. You know, that's something that I'm not used to. So I mean, like, you know, that would be something different for me in my relationship, just going like a solo trip by yourself. But if that's something that if I met my person and that's what they were doing,
that's
then
already what I did before
that's
I
something
met
that you can
So
go.
you're gonna tell me now I can't do something that I did before I knew you?
Okay.
Now I can't do it? Why not?
Yeah, I got you.
That's something about your security, not mine.
So now that you have the mic, and this is a question for both of y'all, you know, about gender roles in relationships.
Gender roles, 100%.
So do you feel that there
Amazing
are
question.
gender roles in a relationship? You know?
Yes, there are gender roles, 100%.
Okay.
I'm never
I believe
gonna
so, too.
abandon gender roles. I am strong in that. I like to call myself a traditional woman, even though I am independent, of course. I do believe in gender roles. I do believe in the protector, the provider, all of that shit, right? But again, everything within reason, right? Because I'm working hard, you working hard. So there are some things where obviously I'd be reasonable. Like, obviously, if, you know, we're making the same, and I don't know how to explain it.
No, so is that something that you talk about right? Is
Right away, right?
Do you
So
talk about finances right away when you're ready to be in a
I don't talk about
relationship?
finances right away.
No?
Nope. But I understand how finances will work from the first date. From the first date. Because if we on a fucking first date and you think I'm about to pay, we have a problem, sir. This will be the first and the last date. Not because I can't afford it, right? Because I make sure I got the money. I got the money. We can do this, but I need for someone to lead. I feel like it is the woman's responsibility to pick up when the man cannot. It is not my responsibility to take care of everything on the front end, because then I feel like for the rest of the relationship, I'm going to be the leader. And let me tell you, I am a leader on every other platform. I need to be able to sit back and chill when I have a man. So, like...
And when you say chill, what do you mean by sit back and chill?
Like, you situate all the shit. Let me be cool.
Okay.
But when it comes to finances, like on the first date, like if you on the first date are expected for me to pay, that tells me a lot.
Okay.
But first of all, I have to hone in on, I said before, like, I am a coffee date ass type of person. Because first of all, I want to see who you are. I really don't give a fuck about the funds. I mean, obviously, you got to have a little bit. But, like, I want to see who you are. So I'd rather you not waste your money. And I don't want you to waste my time. So how about we just go on a coffee date and let's see if this is appropriate for a second date. The second date, you can spend a little bit more.
We're not gonna keep on going on coffee dates.
We ain't gonna keep on going to coffee dates.
Gotta
That's just
switch it up.
that's just the screen. The coffee date is the screening. The screening. Let me see if I like you. Let's see if you like me. Then the next date we could do some fancy shit. And it ain't gotta be Steak 48. It could be Giuseppe and Sons or Bar Leisure, which is right next to Giuseppe and Sons, and they're very nice.
That's a dope spot too. Real dope spot.
But what was your Vern? You know I be getting lost. What was your
No,
initial
that was
question?
it. I was at the gender roles.
Gender
about the
roles,
gender
100%. Yeah, first date, if you got me paying, you want me to pay, you want me to split the bill, it's not gonna work. Because then I feel like that precipitates into something else in the future. First of all, it tells me you're stingy, or you don't have any money, or like you could be selfish, or there's so many negative things attached to me paying for the first date.
Yeah.
Or me splitting for the first date. I think that a man should not be dating if you don't have the funds, especially if the first date is coffee, babe. You better pay for
splitting
the
on
first.
coffee?
I'm
Like, that's
sorry,
crazy.
I'm not doing it. And honestly, I went and hold on, and this is also from life experiences. I have never had a good evolution in a relationship if I've been on a date and I spent 50-50. I'm not a stranger to 50-50. I've been there and I've done that, and I've realized that is not the way to go for me, right? Like, I've done it because I was always like all big-headed, like, I don't need his money. I don't mind, I could spend 50-50. But then, like, later on, it's other things where it shows up where I'm like, wait a minute. I could have called this on the 50-50 date.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, like, there's other ways that you're not showing up.
Okay.
And I don't know, I can't find the words to say right now, but there's ways that it shows up when you don't want to put up front.
What you say? What you say over here in the crowd? Oh, she's saying, okay.
So for me, I mean, listen, and also I'm very I'm not one that I don't want you to spend all your money, right? I don't think that's fair. Again, we're all hardworking people and we don't all have a shit ton of money in our pockets. So especially if I'm on a first date, I like to be considerate and I like to show up the way I want everybody else to show up. So if I know you done spend a grip on this date, then I'll be like, all right, I'll cover the tip, I'll cover parking, I'll cover the other things so you don't have to pay upfront for everything. And I feel like that's my consideration. But if you want me to split it down the center on the first date, it's a wrap. And that's because I believe in gender roles. My funniest date? Hold on. They want it. Wait, because Ryan got to talk. Ryan has to talk.
No, listen, you covered it, but here.
No. Ryan has to talk. Wait, I feel like there was one more thing. What did you
yeah.
ask me? Oh, cookie date.
Yeah.
Cookie date. I'm gonna be
Tell 'em about
honest
the
with
cookie
y'all,
date.
and I didn't tell Vern about this. We don't follow each other yet on social media, but cookie date was awesome. Okay, so first of all, I had the cookie date was the fourth date I had been on with that person. And this guy kind of checked off all the boxes.
You got to describe them. Describe
I'm
them
doing
to
it right
everybody.
now.
Okay, all right.
I'm
So the crowd
describing
can
him
know.
as he requests.
Okay.
Tall, dark, handsome, educated.
How tall?
I think he was 6'2",
Okay.
maybe 6'3". I don't remember, 6'2", 6'3". But y'all have to understand, I'm 5'10" without heels.
Okay.
With my heels, I'm also I'm probably 6'2", 6'3" for sure. But he was tall, dark, handsome, beautiful teeth, educated, cultured, from Ghana. He was ideal. He was ideal for me. The only thing was, he was young. This is the first time I've ever dated anyone young. He was really young, okay? Really young because I'm 29 and I've never dated anyone younger than me. No, he wasn't 18. That's insane. 18, 19, that's insane. Hold on, that was, okay, no, okay, Martel. So anyways, no, he was 25. 25 is really young for me because you have to understand where I come from, all right? I'm different type of person. Yes, I'm 29, but I've got everything together, okay? So 29 for me, that means that I gotta wait for you to get everything together. That's I gotta wait a lot more. And you're a man? Not only do I have to wait for you to do financially, but mentally I have to wait for you to show up, right? That's a lot of waiting. That is a lot of waiting. But what happened with Cookie Date, I kind of seen it coming. I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of ignored the red flags. Okay.
Okay. You
I
ain't tell
kinda
me
did.
that one.
I did. I kind of ignored the red flags. The red flags I had posted in the close friends. But what happened was we had the fourth date, and, you know, one leg went right, one leg went left, okay? So, it was a great date. Okay, but however, that conversation that we had earlier about how things evolved afterwards. Now, we were traveling, he was traveling, I was traveling, so there are a lot of things were contributing to the disconnect, but I felt like the disconnect was outside of both of us traveling.
Okay.
I felt like it was kind of like a one-hitter quitter type of thing. So I did send him one of my letters, one of my dissertations, one of my performance reviews, if you will. And I said, you know what? This is not going in the direction that I thought it would. So let's wrap this up, baby. I thank you for your time, but you no longer get the rest of my time. All right, let's. I'm gonna hand the mic to Ron now.
Go on.
Gender roles.
Gender rules. Man, listen, I don't think a female is going to respect you for the 50-50. You know, I don't
No.
think you're going to get the respect, you know, especially on the first date, on a
No,
coffee date.
right.
Like, you know.
Or any date, for real. Any date,
Any day, yeah.
but especially
yeah.
a coffee date.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Gender roles, you know, a man is supposed to lead, you know, and I was raised like that. I was a protector from my mother and my sister. That's how I was raised. So that's
you were in a relationship too. It's not like you never were in a relationship, so
yeah.
you do know what
Yeah.
it's like to be in a relationship, to be, you know, a protector and a provider, and how it is
for
to be in a
sure.
relationship.
For
you
7
know?
years, I was in a relationship, and that's what I did. You know, 50-50. Again, I don't think a female is going to respect you. You know, and if it's no respect, it leaves a window for them to do whatever they want. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I want to be a leader, and that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
gotta
Absolutely,
be a leader, you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Like I believe in gender roles. You know, if someone was to come in here right now and I would run, what would y'all say about me?
Oh man.
Exactly.
Well, I say, man, you know, you already know what I'm gonna say. Like,
Exactly. So there are gender
I had to
roles,
talk
you
with
know,
you, man.
and
Yeah.
you know, as a man, you are supposed to provide for your lady, for your family, in the best way that you can, you know. And I do think that for the most part, I mean, shit, I like being treated every now and then. I ain't gonna lie.
Of course.
I like just being able just to come out of the house and just say, okay, you know what I mean? Like, we having a good time, bet, you know. But for the most part, you know, it's on me, you know, and I'm fine with that, you know. Like, but you know, there is a difference, you know. Like I said before earlier in the segment, that when dating, being a male and a female, you know, there's a big difference. There's a big financial strain on a man, you know, when he's dating out here, because you do have to have, you know, your finances together to date. A woman doesn't. You know, a man that has his finances together doesn't really care about a woman's finances. You know, they don't. You know, okay. So, you know, for the most part, you know, I truly believe that, you know, if you're not financially stable, you do need to, like, you know,
Don't date.
pause a
especially if
little
you want to
bit.
date, you gotta get yourself together.
On dating. You know, or maybe just date one person. You can't be out here dating multiple people
Right.
if your finances aren't together. You know, it's like, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, you know,
And also date within your means.
date within your means.
Date within your means.
But how do you know
Don't
what's
get
in your
crazy.
means?
Huh?
How do you know what's in your means when you're dating? Like, if I meet somebody,
Well, you're as a man.
yeah, when
You
I
know
meet
how much you
somebody,
want to spend. You know how much you got in your pocket. You know how much extra you can. That's within your means. That's within your means. And just because a woman, like, what am I gonna say? I feel like she should be accepting of you if you're dating within your means. Obviously, don't show up like, yo, I'm broke right now. I can't. No, but just if a woman says, I want to go to State 48, but you know you got Giuseppe and Son money, right? Yes, they're still
Giuseppe's
expensive.
ain't cheap
Listen,
either.
I know they're
Oh,
not
all right,
cheap,
I'm about to say.
but State 48, you know, he
Yeah,
just
but
said
State 48
he just said he spent a lot of money, right? He
Right,
said he
right,
spent
right,
$800 there. Let's say
Right.
you got $300. Now that's just like playing. We got a $500 difference, but like dating within your means is if a woman says, "Oh, I want to go to State 48, but you got Giuseppe's and Sons money," you just say, "Oh, instead of saying, yo, I ain't got Giuseppe, or I ain't got Steak 48 money, you just say, oh, well, how about we do Giuseppe's and Sons? And if she is not okay with that, then just don't go out with her. That's how you date within your means. That's how you sort out whether or not she wants your money or she wants to actually spend time with you. It's very simple. I feel like men make it difficult. Like they make it a money thing. But if you redirect to what is affordable, what makes sense, what is fair, it should be no problem. I think that when you keep on trying to date people, knowing that you can't show up how they want you to show up, that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, it's a money
just
thing.
date where you
Right.
can show. It's not always a money thing, but it's showing up in a whole lot of different ways. But just like if y'all are different and you guys can't show up the same way, like just date someone who can show up how you show up. Like that's mentally, that's physically, that's emotionally, that's financially. Like date someone where you are on similar pages. Maybe not the same, but similar. They might be on page 97, you might be on page 99. Who knows? But like it has to be a similar page. Don't date somebody that's on page 22 when you know you're on page 99. Okay? Right. It's very simple. And don't date nobody that's on page 120 and you know you on page 99. Like, it's very simple. So just, like, date within your means, and that's, like, how things will work out, I feel like. And but also, the same way, you have to have discipline. You have to be able to say, you know what? This ain't exactly what the fuck I can sign up for. That's it. But you have to be understanding of yourself. You have to be self-aware, like, yo, this is not it for me. This is actually, I can't do this right now. And maybe if the timeline aligns, you can come back to it, or you don't. You just pick the next person that makes sense for the time being, and then you guys can evolve together. But that's all. Sorry.
All right. So question. So before we wrap things up, does anyone in the crowd have any questions they want to ask? Oh,
It's so many.
He gets the mic first.
oh my gosh.
He raised his hand first.
Who
Do
wants the
him.
mic first?
Do him first.
Who wants the mic? G, you want the mic? Hold on. Here, give the mic. Who had some questions?
Gentlemen in the back. This is my man up here. You ain't riding right, bro.
I'm not riding right.
You're not keeping it.
Oh shit.
My man.
Well, let's
You
go.
supposed to go back at her. So
That's it. It's about to wrap it up. Go ahead.
You were also saying going 50-50, right? What are you bringing to the table?
Oh my God.
No, I'm not. I'm being realistic though. Cause y'all want a guy to do X, Y, and Z, right? You want me to break my bank for you, right? No, I'm not. I'm just.
Let's let him go off. Let him go
That's
off.
what she said, though, right?
You got a lot of women that want you to spend $300, $500. But what you spending on me the next go around? No, I'm keeping it real. I'm just.
But that's not what she
I'm
said.
keeping it real.
Hey, first she didn't say that.
I'm just keeping it real though. Because listen, right? In a relationship, we always say it's supposed to be 50-50, whatever. It's never 50-50.
No, never.
We gotta cover it, right?
Never
We gotta
50-50.
cover it.
Whether the husband or the boyfriend is doing more, or the girlfriend or the wife is doing more, it's never 50-50. Y'all may have a plan to do this and that. It's never going to go that way.
Okay, so let's see what he has to say. What you got to respond to that?
For me, like,
brother.
well, that's my brother right there. But
what you got to
listen,
say?
but I don't think she.
Talking to Mike. Yeah.
I don't think she was saying it like
What?
that. Like I think she was saying like, you know, if I take her out on a date and I say it's 50-50, then it's no go. Like that's what she's saying. She's got
wait.
first date. We can't go 50-50. That's what she was saying. Like, but listen. Yeah, like
Right.
she didn't say, but right. I think you ain't
So
understand the
We
question.
ain't got to go to no steak 48.
But wait, can
But
we?
she's not saying that, right?
Listen,
She's not saying
I like
that.
to have fun. So,
I get it.
Hold on, I like to have fun, so I might want to take you to Top Golf. I might want to take you to a bowling alley. It ain't gotta be $500, $600, $800.
But I think you got the question mixed up, right?
Can we bring this?
Right. You got the question
I
mixed
just
up.
cannot.
Please.
So let's get Vern to respond.
But
Please.
Vern,
my
say the
thing is what you're
question.
saying. You're absolutely right. Every date doesn't have to be a Steak 48 or a Giuseppe and Sons, right? It doesn't have to be like that. What I was saying was, I think that when the thing was with 50-50, I don't think she was saying like, let's go 50-50.
Right.
But when you are meeting someone, when you're courting someone as a male, it is on you.
Hello.
It is on you to provide the date. You like, whether it's Steak 48, whether it's Top Golf,
It's
whether
on you.
it's bowling,
It's no 50-50 when you.
you're supposed to.
All right, so the word of the day is courting. That's one vocabulary word. Courting. All
Okay.
right, we have another question on the
Wait.
front. We have the wife.
Hold on. Ronnie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She didn't get
You
the
want to
same.
respond?
Oh, she gotta respond.
I want the mic. Yeah.
Oh, your microphone?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think these work.
You gotta pass it back.
I will pass the microphone back. But you are an example of listening to respond and not listening to understand, right? Because if you were listening to understand, you would have heard that I said, when you first show up, I don't expect to pay 50-50. But moving forward, or if you're paying completely, I said that I'd like to cover the tip, or cover parking, or cover other expenses. I also said that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I also said that. I also said that I'm okay with coffee dates, right? So you're listening to respond instead of to understand. But, however, what is a woman showing up with? I'm showing up with my presence. It took a lot out of me to show. First of all, not everybody gets my presence. Listen, not everybody. Do you know? Here, listen. Do you know? You have to understand. You have to understand. And listen, if you don't see it as such, then that's okay. You shouldn't be in front of me.
Exactly.
But there is a line of men waiting. Okay? So if you don't see that my presence in front of you as a gift, then what is the sense in you being in front of me? There is no sense.
There is no sense. Go ahead, girl. There's no sense. We got somebody I moved up here. Y'all take me out. Okay. All right. We're gonna go back here. Excuse me, sir. All right. Right here. Go, gentlemen. Right here. Back.
So I got a question. I know you had mentioned, right, as far as dating within your means, you said a man shouldn't, if you can't, I guess, provide the first date or date within your means for the woman, right? But say if a man can do that. So just for an example, take you out on a nice date, pay. After that, the second date is good. Everything is vibing. How can you provide as a woman as far as within your means? So if I can bring all these things to the table, what can you bring, or like what should a woman bring as far as emotionally, spiritually, and things as far as that? Besides like your presence, because my presence is here as well. So
He has what? What does he have?
Good question.
He got a good manicure. I'm just saying. It's clean. It's not chipped either. It's nice and fresh.
Okay.
I'm telling you that. This brother means business. So I'm gonna let you down there. Then you got the response, okay? Got it? Let's go. All right. Come on, let us down.
I commend you on your hygiene and your upkeep. If I was able to see your nails, I would say nice nails. What can a woman bring? I don't know. I mean, I would say like, hold on. Because you know what? The problem is it's not that I don't bring anything. It's just hard for me to communicate what it is that I do bring, right? But what I do bring is peace, contentment, understanding. When you come to, listen, y'all thinking about money. It's not all about money. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's money that he mentioned.
It's not my, huh?
I don't think he mentioned anything about
But
money.
like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, as a woman, for me, I feel like I am your home when you don't have any shelter, right? Like,
Hold on, repeat that.
For me, as a woman, listen, no matter, I don't care if we're just on the first date, right? It doesn't matter, because I'm always going to show up in love, right? I'm going to show up how I am. I am going to be like a lot of things, but the initial thing that I said was, I am going to be your home when there is no shelter, okay? So that's how I'm showing up. I am going to be your comfort. I am going to be the reason why you laugh, the reason why you smile. I am going to be the one that you want to come home to, or wherever you came from that was stressful. I'm going to be the one that you want to confide in. Like, I'm going to be that person. And not only am I going to be that emotionally, but then I can do the other things, the primary traditional woman type of thing, the homemaker, okay? Like, you know, you bring the table, I bring the fucking food. Like, it's the simple stuff. It's the ideal traditional thing that we all know to be true that has recently, you know, dissipated into a whole bunch of other things. But, like, I am going to be all of those things. Like, I'm just going to be your comfort. I'm going to be your person. I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to make sure there is no stress in your environment. Like, I'm going to be good for you. Like, what am I bringing? Everything. I'm bringing myself. Like, you know?
She bringing herself. We got 2 more questions, and then we got to wrap it up. I'm going to bring it over here to the ladies.
Well, good evening, everyone.
I like her voice.
I am speaking from, 17 years of marriage, 22 years together.
Is it 17 to 22? That's a big gap.
I want to respond on behalf of the ladies about what women are bringing. And so,
Not to
when we're
mention-
dating, men are supposed to be courting. We talked about that word earlier this evening. So courting, men are hunters, right? And so you don't want the woman to hunt you. You don't want the woman, you know, a lot of men say don't show up as an alpha female. You want us to be, you know, to receive and to solve. And so on those first couple of dates, that's not what we're going to do. You know, we want you to pursue us. And then as we get to know you, we can trust you, we have vulnerability.
Right.
Then you get to see all those other things that you mentioned. So that's my response to that. But my question is, where do you meet people nowadays? I mean, I'm just very curious because... Not me.
Be careful now.
Yeah, for the ladies out there.
I'm 46. I want to know too, because I don't go out. So I'm sorry. I'm not going out. So where do y'all meet people other than the club? The club.
I mean, besides the club.
I don't really meet people at the club. However, no, honestly, I meet people, it depends on the climate, right? And I don't know, I don't mean just the weather, but like it just depends on how I'm feeling, how things in my life are going. Like if I'm busy and I ain't really getting outside much, then I'm gonna go online. I'm going to do the apps, you know, whatever those apps may be. And if not the apps, then like when I'm outside, like all of this summer I was outside. You think I need to get on no apps? Absolutely not. Outside. I like to, okay. So again, I take myself to a lot of places, okay? So it depends. I could be at like a speakeasy, right? Or like a poetry jam. I take myself out to those type of things. I could be at a poetry jam on Fridays at the art museum. They have this huge thing going on. You do art. You just kind of like mingle. You look at the art. There's people around. I like to take myself to nicer restaurants, and I just sit by the bar, and I'll just be chopping it up. Baby, I meet everybody and their mom. Actually, I talk entirely too much. So I think it's just about putting yourself out there and putting yourself in the environments where you would expect to see your prospective partner. That's where you're gonna meet people. So I've met people in a lot of places. If I'm indoors, then I've met them outside. I met them online. But if I've been outside, then I've met them wherever I was outside, whether that's the Winston, the club at the Winston, or different places. There's a lot of places in the city, and there's a lot of upscale places. I ain't going to no crazy places. I'm not. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to turn my nose up to it. I'm sorry. There's been a time in my life where I was at them places, but the time now is not those places. Okay. If it's not pretty and polished, I ain't going.
You ain't going, and that's okay. It's okay to be better than other people.
I didn't say that.
It's okay. Look, I got classes. I can lose.
It's not pretty and polished. I'm not going.
I'm speaking from 32 years of singleness.
32 years single? How old are you?
I mean, wait.
You said 30?
32 years single?
I'm 32, so I've been single for like...
Okay, 6-7 years.
32
Okay.
years.
She did say 32 years single, but it's okay. Go ahead. We're listening. We're listening. We're listening.
But they were saying about marriage. I was just trying to make a joke, but it didn't go a little bit. But anyway, I just
just want to say this because I feel like a lot of things fall into what I'm about to say. Find somebody that likes you.
That part. And that's why you go on coffee
Find somebody
dates.
that likes you.
That's why you go on coffee dates.
Because men and women, with men is ego, with women, I don't know what it is, but you don't have to pull teeth or, force somebody to do X, Y, and Z if they like you. And I think a lot of the times, we don't date people that like us. Because
There you go.
if they're going to do it, they're going to do it.
Right.
Like, regardless. So I think that's a bigger part of the problem. All these things that, where do you bring it to the table? If a woman fuck with you, she going to bring the table, the house, the bricks, everything. Like,
Yeah.
if a man fuck with you, like, it's just, I just think that's, I don't know. I think that's what it is. So,
Gotcha.
find somebody that actually likes you and you eliminate 90% of the problems. That's just how I feel.
I got you. All right, one last thing. I know G wanted to say something. You want to say something, G? And after that, we're going to get out of here.
Take us out.
No,
It's so early.
no, I just wanted to. I was trying to tell her the raffle. I was gonna have you pull the number out the bucket.
Okay,
for the
let's go.
raffle.
Where's it at? Business. You on business?
Yeah, because
Stand on
somebody
business.
tonight, actually a couple people tonight, is actually going to win opportunity to have an event here at the event space.
Oh.
Let's
Just
go.
from buying a raffle ticket. So we were selling raffle tickets for this opportunity. $25 for arm length of tickets, which give you the opportunity to have an event. Typically, we charge $750 and up for events here at the event space. So for $25, you got the opportunity. I know you got birthday parties, engagement parties, hangouts, mixers, whatever you want to do. If you got tickets, you got the opportunity. So I just wanted to give last opportunity for anybody who didn't get a chance to. last opportunity. He said no. It's up to Vern.
You want me to do it now? You want me to go it? I'm going to grab it. That's it. You ready? I'm
Ready?
going to grab it.
Anybody else? That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Let me say which one it is. The number that I
The
have.
number is.
The number is. Oh, my
There's a
eyes
name
are
on
getting
the
bad
back.
in my own.
There's a name on the back.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I didn't need.
Here, I got you. I got you. Okay. The last.
My eyes getting bad at my old age.
596.
Glasses a little tinted.
596. 596. You got the event space coming up. 596. In the back is 215-454-99. That's your cell phone number. I don't know. That's your. Hey.
Oh, you got a winner right there. There you go.
I'm talking
There you
about.
go. All right.
All right.
So listen, I would like to I want to thank everybody. I mean, everybody that came out tonight for the launch of this podcast from Orlando's. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all are here with me tonight. Thank you to Tanya. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you to my brother Ron P for coming out. Also, this couldn't be possible without my man G Money, Gary Murray for Inspire Arts. Event space, he said, listen, man, you need the event space, is yours. And I would like to thank him for that because he's been on me about it for a long time. If y'all need an event space, make sure y'all tap in with him. He make sure that y'all tap in with him. Also, I have to big shout out to Design Essentials. She sent me a diamond. I don't know where she's at. She's been in here working with me for the last couple of months trying to get this together. Thank you so much for this. Also, Turk where Turk at, Sip and Go. She put the bar together for us. Thank you so much for that. My brother Don Scott, there you go. He did the merch for me. He did the graphic designs for me. He said, bro, I just want to see you win, man. You know what I mean? And he sent it to me. Shout out to Flux Mortgage and what else is it? And financial. Shout out to Flux. They listen. Flux cut that check. You know what I mean? So if y'all need any
mortgage financing, you doing investments, residential, anything like that, you need funding.
yeah, come through. You know what I mean? Anything, commercial, residential, check out Flux today.
Investments,
investments, all that. And last but not least, shout out to my wife.
Hey, Marcel.
Shout out to my wife. Because I always come up with these crazy ideas. And she always says, "Oh, that's what you want to do? Okay, well, let's go." You know, and blood, sweat, and tears for whatever I need. You know, she's always there for me, running around, doing anything. I didn't even know, like, if y'all see that sound right, that was all her. I had no clue that was going to be there, but thank you for believing in me and always having my back. Shout out to my sister-in-law Morgan too. You know, Morgan. she's like, you know, Morgan really does this. I'm not going to really like tell you really what she does. If you really want to know her, come. She's really big time. You know, this is her thing, marketing. You know, but I'm not. She doesn't want me to shout her out too much, but you know, she's really decent in real life. So come over there and shake her hand. You know, but with that being said, you know, shout out to my man Ricky too for on the cameras. You know, for coming here and shouting out. We're building right now. You know, to all my friends and all my family, this is something that I've been thinking about for the last probably 2 years, and I pushed the button on it. And we're here now, and I see a lot of my friends and my family, and I appreciate it, and I love y'all for that. So be on the lookout for me on all platforms. It's coming, and we're gonna keep it going. Let's go. Appreciate y'all.
Let's go.